Like, we went. Fortunately, I got in touch with my parents. We saw my mom and my dad. I introduced Mr. Abu to them. And Mr. Abu became part of our family. After 2 years, he became severely sick. I was the one caring for him at the age of 16. I was looking after him. One day, everyone has gone out to look for food, and he was lying in bed, helpless. He called me. He held my hand. He said, "For everything you have done for me, even though you don't know me, but from today, you will never taste suffering." He said, "Open your palm." I did. He spat into my hand. He blessed me. While he was praying for me, I started crying. I was never an emotional person. I never used to be emotional, regardless of what the situation is. But that day, emotion took over my life. And to today, whenever I call that name, I cry. He was praying for me. The next moment, he closed his eyes, and that was it. He never opened them again. From that moment, it took another 12 years before I could realize what Mr. Abu said will happen to me. Helping people is not about now, but what is the investment we as a nation we are making for the next generation. Australia as a nation, we are signatory to the 1951 Convention on Refugees and Asylum Seekers. We have the obligation, the duty of care. But are we doing it? It is time for us to be that good Samaritan that will say enough is enough. Our politicians, they can do it because of political reason. But we have to take a stand and show compassion, love, care. Nobody will be in their peaceful home and want to come to another country or go for another, as they will call it, better life. Nobody will love to do that. But people come here because they have no choice. In 2001, we had the days of Prime Minister John Howard. People were throwing children over the water, which was false. We know the amount of myth that has been given to the media about asylum seekers and refugees. To conclude, we should bridge love with hate. We should bridge love with hate. We should show love to those who deserve love. We should give compassion to those who need compassion. We should not love them because we think they are coming from poor countries. We should love them because they are human beings. We should care for them because they deserve to be cared for. Jesus has given us the example. Let us make use of it. And tomorrow, Australia will be a society for the next generation that will be welcoming, caring, loving, and accepting of every nation that comes here. Because we are, regardless of what the history would say, we are a multicultural society. Thank you, Andrea, for making this possible, for me to be here. And my duty of care to the Australian community is to be a voice where there is a need. Because I believe evil can only prevail when good people stop talking. All of us here, we are here tonight because we have a duty of care. And I want to thank you. I want to thank the Catholic Church. I want to thank Jesus Social Services. I want to thank the Australian community for welcoming us. We have a lot to do if we want to make Australia a better place. God bless you all.
Well, That was a very moving testimony, wasn't it?
I think so.
I was certainly very moved by it anyway. On behalf of everyone here, Isaiah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
Amen.
Isaiah will be around for the rest of the evening and can join in our conversations.
And I also want to thank the media there. They came purposely because Isaiah is talking. They should come and film him. I'm not a celebrity, by the way. I'm not a... Thank you, boys.
Thanks, Isaiah. Right, so what we're going to do now is just suggest that for about 10 minutes, we're just going to have a bit of table talk. So what have you heard? What's been stirred in you? What sort of, what questions have perhaps arisen? And that's, so what we're going to do then is we're going to sort of have what we call a conversation sharing, if you like. And we've asked, as was mentioned earlier tonight, 3 people who are involved in different projects in response to this question of asylum seekers. And they will quite briefly just tell us what they are doing, just to keep informing us and stimulating us and inspiring us and challenging us. And then the idea would be that we could have a bit of a conversation with them and sort of sharing ideas and gathering. So what we'd like to propose is that as you talk now amongst yourselves for some few minutes, no more than, we'll say about 10, and perhaps your table could formulate a question or two that you would, like as a table to sort of put into the wider group when we come back in sort of a plenary. Is that okay? People clear on that? So a bit of time now just to sort of process what you've heard and how it's affected you and the questions it raises or whatever, and then we'll call everyone back together and move into the sort of final part of our evening.